Welcome to AI Insights with Micah Gaudet. My name is Micah, excited to talk to you today about AI in the public sector from a practitioner's perspective. This episode and all the episodes on this podcast are summaries of my LinkedIn newsletter, AI in Government. Find me on LinkedIn, connect with me, and subscribe to the newsletter to engage more deeply with the conversation. This podcast is created through Notebook LM. If you want to learn more about that, go visit Notebook LM or reach out to me via LinkedIn. With that being said, let's dive in.
Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, imagine this. You've got a really big decision to make. Could be for your community, maybe a major project at work, or, even a personal investment. And you're just buried under information. You need answers like, now, but your research team is? Well, it's just you. That's exactly the kind of challenge our expert sources, including a former city manager who's really been there, faced all the time. And what they found is pretty eye-opening. It's about how AI isn't some sci-fi thing anymore. It's actually a practical tool, a powerful one, making a real difference right now, especially for local governments, and honestly, probably for you too.
That's exactly right. So our mission in this deep dive is to get into these AI deep research tools. Think of it like your secret weapon for getting up to speed fast. It's a structured, efficient way to use AI. To quickly pull out key insights from really complex topics, we're going to look at how tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google Gemini can save serious time, serious money, and most importantly, how you can actually start using these methods yourself, like today.
Yeah, and we're not just talking theory here. These insights, they come straight from real-world testing. We've got detailed, practical prompt templates you can literally use, plus some really candid advice from that city manager who, pushed these tools hard in real government situations. So let's dive in.
All right, first things first, let's define what we mean by AI deep research. Basically, it's a systematic method. You're using AI to quickly dig deep into complicated subjects. It's about getting those detailed, nuanced answers, seeing patterns, without spending weeks sifting through data yourself. It kind of democratizes high-level research.
I can really see that. It levels the playing field. Our sources kept saying this method saves hours, maybe even days of staff time. And it gives you genuinely actionable insights almost right away. I mean, imagine turning a week-long research slog into just an afternoon. That's huge. Whether you're working for a city or maybe trying to understand a new market for your own business.
And what's really interesting is how valuable this is for smaller governments, places with maybe under 100,000 people. They often don't have big research departments, right? But they still face complex issues, infrastructure, public health, you name it. They need fast, reliable answers too. AI deep research means they don't get left behind. Gives them the same kind of research power.
Right. And thinking bigger picture, it's useful for pretty much everyone. Think about your own situation. Could be a tough project at work, something you're passionate about, or maybe you're just curious about something complex. Being able to learn quickly, but still thoroughly. That's something we all kind of want, isn't it? We want those aha moments without drowning in information.
Exactly. So how do you actually do it? How do you put this into practice? Our expert sources broke it down into 5 key steps. And these are like real-world testing steps, not just theory.
Okay, step 1. You need to figure out where AI can actually help. It's not about using AI for everything, right? It's about picking the spots where AI research will genuinely solve a problem or speed things up, like maybe data analysis, or comparing different policy options, reviewing how a service works, or even benchmarking your own operations.
Precisely. Or for you personally, maybe it's looking at different investment strategies, comparing complex products, I don't know, figuring out local rules for a home project. Once you know what you need to research, step 2 is absolutely critical, crafting clear prompts. This really underlines that old saying, you get out what you put in.
Makes total sense. But okay, for someone just starting out, what's the biggest mistake people make with these prompts? Where do they usually go wrong?
That's a really good question. The number one pitfall. Being too vague. People tend to treat it like a basic search engine, just typing in a few keywords. But AI, especially for this kind of deep research, it really needs structure. That's why our sources emphasize specific components for the prompt.
Okay, so what are those key things that make a prompt really effective, more than just keywords?
Well, they basically set the stage for how the AI thinks. First, you need a clear objective. What's the main goal here? Expert analysis, broad overview. Then you give it crucial context. This isn't just, window dressing, telling it your role or the project background. That helps the AI understand your perspective, your intent, which massively changes the output. Otherwise, you might get a generic answer when you needed something specific to your situation.
Ah, okay. Intent makes a huge difference. Got it. What's next to sort of focus its research?
Then you lay out your key areas of interest or specific aspects. You break down exactly what you wanted to explore. Things like data and trends, comparative analysis, maybe challenges and solutions or implementation guidance. And really important, you add scope and constraints. You define the boundaries. Could be geography, North America only, a date range, just the last 5 years, or even how deep to go, summaries of at least 4 major platforms. Basically, you're telling the AI what not to get lost in, saves you from wading through irrelevant stuff.
Okay, so we've told it what we want, why it matters, and what to focus on. How do we tell it how to actually do the work?
Right, that's where detailed instructions come in. This is where you kind of become the AI's project manager. The insight here is that breaking down big tasks into smaller steps, it actually mimics how humans analyze things. It helps the AI think more strategically, gives you better results. You can tell it, first, plan the research, then gather information, then compare, then analyze and synthesize. And finally, you specify the desired output format. Want an executive summary, detailed findings, tables, a structured report with headings. Our prompt templates cover all this, plus other practical things like preferred data sources and even citation styles. Helps you get exactly what you need.
Wow. Okay, so with all that detail, you've basically given the AI a complete project brief. Now that we know how to ask the right way, let's talk about where to ask. Our sources gave us some really great real-world testing results on ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google Gemini. What did they find?
Yeah, once you have those well-crafted prompts, the next question is definitely which tool for which job?
The testing showed some clear strengths. Let's start with ChatGPT Deep Research. This one consistently came out on top for really customizable, detailed research on policies and operations. Its flexibility was the big thing. You could really shape the responses by tweaking your questions as you went along. So for precision, reliability across different complex questions, ChatGPT was just the most consistent in the tests.
Okay, and then Perplexity. Perplexity really excelled with deep dive financial estimates, feasibility studies, anything needing hard numbers. It gave amazing detail on operational costs and things like that, really valuable for budgeting or project proposals. But,
Right.
and this is interesting, it could sometimes just stall out. For a local government needing reliable research, how big a problem is that? Do they suggest ways around it? That's a fair point. The occasional stalling does mean it's smart to have a backup tool ready, or maybe break down a really big request into smaller pieces. The sources basically said, yeah, its depth is fantastic, but that technical glitch meant it wasn't always a set it and forget it's kind of tool. If you're digging into a super complex financial model, maybe it's worth it for the detail, but you just need to be aware.
Right. Good to know. And finally, Google Gemini.
Gemini is your winner if you need fast, broad overviews of big topics. What really impressed the testers was its ability to pull data from like over 130 websites in just one go. Plus, its tables and summaries are really user-friendly, makes that initial analysis much easier. So it's perfect for that first pass when you're just trying to understand the whole landscape of something new, say comparing all the different smart city tech out there globally.
Okay, so summing up the testing, it seems like customization is key, which is where ChatGPT shines, and there's a clear trade-off between depth versus breadth, Perplexity for digging deep, Gemini for casting a wide net. And yeah, technical reliability definitely matters for anything critical. It really is about matching the tool to this specific job, isn't it? Not just using one for everything.
Exactly right. Knowing those differences helps you pick the most reliable platform for what you need to do, whether you're that city manager or just, trying to decide on the best solar panels for your house.
Now, all this research is great, but it doesn't mean much if it just sits there, right? The real payoff from AI deep research comes when you actually integrate the results into practice. That means, updating policies, creating guides for your team, improving how things get done based on what you learned. Research is step one. Taking action is where the real value is.
Absolutely. And you also have to keep improving. AI tools are amazing, but they're not infallible. They don't replace human judgment. Regular reviews, updating the research. That's essential to make sure it's still accurate and relevant. As our city manager source put it, kind of jokingly, AI saves you hours, but it doesn't do your thinking for you. At least not yet.
Huh. Good point. Our sources even gave us some cool, concrete examples from Civic.AI of governments using this stuff right now, like an HR policy bot, an HR director using a chatbot for instant, consistent answers on policy and benefits stuff. Imagine. No more digging through old binders.
Yeah, or think about how you could use AI to quickly find answers on, say, tax deductions for your side hustle, or researching college financial aid options,
Yeah.
cutting through all that complexity tailored just for you. Or another example, a city finance team using AI for budget insights, spotting weird anomalies before they blow up into big problems, saving taxpayer money. For a small business owner, that could be using AI to analyze market trends, maybe spot potential cash flow issues or opportunities early on.
Or planning department building smart reports with AI help, summarizing huge amounts of data to make decisions clearer. That's a massive time saver right there.
Totally. Anyone who has to put together a presentation or a strategic plan. Imagine AI summarizing piles of data, pulling out the key points and trends. Lets you focus on the story, the decisions, not just drowning in data collection. These aren't just ideas. This is happening now.
So the bottom line seems pretty clear then. These AI deep research tools. Using these structured prompt techniques with platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google Gemini, they can genuinely save local governments and honestly, you too, real time and real money. Starting today.
It really is about getting properly informed, quickly, thoroughly, without getting overwhelmed. It's about knowledge you can actually use.
So here's something to think about as you go through your day. Where in your own work or maybe your personal projects could a structured AI-powered deep dive uncover something important? Where could it save you precious time or help you make a better decision? Just pick one complex topic you've been meaning to research. These tools aren't just for big organizations. They could be your shortcut to really understanding it and putting that understanding to work right now.
This has been AI Insights with Micah Gaudet. For more, connect with me on LinkedIn or visit www.civicinnovation.ai. Until next time, keep turning insights into action.